When did breakfast become just about filling your stomach? For most Americans over 60, breakfast means toast and coffee, maybe some cereal if you're feeling adventurous. But here's what researchers have discovered that changes everything. The first meal you eat each morning doesn't just break your fast, it actually sets the stage for whether your muscles grow stronger or continue slowly disappearing. And that decision happens within the first hour after you wake up. Let me share something that might make you uncomfortable. Right now, as you're watching this video, your body is in what scientists call a catabolic state. That's a fancy way of saying your muscles are breaking down. This has been happening all night while you slept. Your body needed energy, and without food coming in, it started using your own muscle tissue as fuel. This is completely normal. But here's the problem. If you don't eat the right foods at breakfast, you never flip that switch back to muscle building. You stay in breakdown mode all morning long. I'm Dr. Patricia Henderson, and for 26 years I've worked with older adults who are tired of feeling weak and unsteady on their feet. I've watched thousands of people transform their strength and mobility simply by changing what they eat for breakfast. Not next month, not after they start exercising, just by changing breakfast. And today I'm going to show you exactly which foods make that transformation possible. But first, you need to understand what's actually happening to your muscles as you age. Research indicates that somewhere between 5 and 13% of people aged 60 to 70 experience significant muscle loss, and that number jumps dramatically to 11 to 50% for those over 80. This condition has a medical name: sarcopenia. It's the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that comes with aging. Now I want you to understand something important. Evidence suggests that skeletal muscle mass can decline in a linear fashion beginning as early as your 30s or 40s, with potentially up to half of muscle mass being lost by age 80. That's not a typo. Half your muscle. Gone. And here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about appearance or even strength. When you lose muscle mass, everything changes. Your balance gets worse. You tire more easily. Simple tasks like carrying groceries or getting out of a chair become challenging. Falls become more likely. And once you fall, recovery becomes harder because you have less muscle to support healing. But, and this is crucial, muscle loss isn't inevitable. Your muscles at 70, 80, even 90 years old still respond to the right nutrition. They can still grow. They can still get stronger. The key is understanding what your aging muscles actually need. Here's where breakfast becomes critical. After fasting all night, your muscles are starving for specific nutrients, not just any protein. They need particular amino acids, especially one called leucine. Think of leucine as the ignition key that starts your muscle-building engine. Research on older adults suggests that achieving maximal muscle protein synthesis requires approximately 3 to 4 grams of leucine per meal, which typically corresponds to 25 to 30 grams of total protein. Miss that threshold, and your muscles basically ignore the food you just ate. This is why eggs alone don't cut it anymore. 2 eggs give you about 12 grams of protein and roughly 1 gram of leucine. That's not enough to trigger muscle growth in older adults. You need to be more strategic. If you're finding this information helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps other people discover this content. And drop a comment telling me what you usually eat for breakfast. I read every comment, and I'll respond with specific suggestions for your situation. So what should you eat? I'm going to share 7 breakfast foods that deliver the protein and leucine your muscles need. But more importantly, I'll show you how to combine them for maximum effect. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're available at any grocery store. Most cost less than $2 per serving, and they work. Let's start with Greek yogurt, but I need to be specific here. Not regular yogurt, Greek yogurt. The difference matters enormously. Regular yogurt has been strained once. Greek yogurt is strained 2 or 3 times, removing most of the liquid whey and leaving behind concentrated protein. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt delivers about 17 to 20 grams of protein, with approximately 2.5 grams of leucine. That gets you close to the threshold you need. But here's what makes Greek yogurt especially valuable for older adults. It contains 2 different types of protein working in tandem. About 20% is whey protein, which digests quickly and gets amino acids to your muscles fast. The remaining 80% is casein protein, which digests slowly over several hours. Research has shown that casein provides a steady stream of amino acids to your muscles for up to 7 hours after eating. This is particularly beneficial for preventing muscle breakdown between meals. Greek yogurt also delivers calcium for bone health, probiotics for digestive health, and B vitamins for energy production, all for about $1.50 per serving. But here's the mistake most people make. They buy flavored Greek yogurt loaded with added sugar. Those fruit-on-the-bottom varieties can pack 15 to 20 grams of sugar, which actually interferes with muscle protein synthesis. Always choose plain Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries or a small drizzle of honey. Number 2 is cottage cheese. And I know many people avoid it because of texture, but stay with me, because cottage cheese is one of the most powerful muscle-building foods available to seniors. 1 cup provides an impressive 28 grams of protein and roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, easily exceeding that critical threshold. Like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese is rich in casein protein. Research from nutrition scientists found that eating cottage cheese before bed produced muscle-building benefits comparable to expensive protein powders, but at a fraction of the cost. The slow-release amino acids feed your muscles throughout the night, preventing the overnight muscle breakdown I mentioned earlier. If texture is your concern, try this. Blend cottage cheese with a banana and cinnamon for a smooth, pudding-like consistency, or mix it with fresh herbs, black pepper, and use it as a savory spread on whole grain toast. You can also stir it into scrambled eggs for an extra protein boost without changing the flavor much. Number 3 might surprise you. Canned salmon. I know fish for breakfast sounds unusual in American culture. But in many parts of the world, fish is a breakfast staple. And for muscle building after 60, it's remarkably effective. A 3-ounce serving of canned salmon provides about 17 grams of high-quality protein. But protein is just part of the story. Salmon is one of nature's richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids. These aren't just good for your heart, they're essential for muscle health. Research examining omega-3s and muscle in elderly adults found that omega-3 supplementation may contribute to measurable gains in muscle mass. Here's why. As we age, chronic low-grade inflammation increases throughout our body. This inflammation interferes with muscle protein synthesis and accelerates muscle breakdown. Omega-3 fatty acids are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that help restore normal muscle-building processes. Canned salmon costs about $2 to $3 per can and provides multiple servings. It's also one of the lowest mercury fish available, making it safe to eat several times per week. Try mixing canned salmon with mashed avocado on whole grain toast, or stir it into scrambled eggs with fresh dill. The flavor is milder than you'd expect, especially if you buy salmon packed in water rather than oil. Number 4 is something you probably already eat, but you're not eating enough of it. Steel-cut oats. Now, I can hear you thinking, but oats are carbohydrates, not protein. You're right. 1 cup of cooked steel-cut oats provides only about 5 to 6 grams of protein on its own, not nearly enough. But oats contain something remarkable that directly supports muscle strength in older adults. It's a special type of fiber called beta-glucan. Research on athletic performance found that athletes who supplemented with beta-glucan showed significant increases in grip strength, arm strength, and upper limb muscle mass in just 4 weeks. How does fiber build muscle? Beta-glucan activates specific signaling pathways in your body that support muscle protein synthesis. It also reduces exercise-induced inflammation, helping muscles recover faster. But here's the strategic part. When you combine oats with high leucine protein sources, you create a synergistic effect. The slow-digesting carbohydrates from oats help shuttle amino acids into muscle cells more efficiently. So instead of eating oats alone, top them with Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Now you're looking at 25 to 30 grams of total protein with optimal leucine content, plus the muscle-supporting benefits of beta-glucan. Steel-cut oats are incredibly inexpensive. A container costs a few dollars and lasts weeks. They take longer to cook than instant oats, but you can prepare a batch on Sunday and reheat portions throughout the week. Are you learning something valuable here? If so, do me a favor and share this video with someone who needs it. Maybe a friend who's mentioned feeling weak, or a family member who's struggling with balance. This information could genuinely help them. Number 5 is a food that many people avoid unnecessarily: Eggs. Wait, didn't I say earlier that eggs alone aren't enough? That's true. 2 eggs provide only about 12 grams of protein. But eggs are still incredibly valuable when combined with other protein sources. Here's why. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids in the exact ratios your body needs. Scientists call this a complete protein with high biological value. One large egg delivers about 6 grams of protein and roughly half a gram of leucine. But eggs also provide choline, which supports brain health, and lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect your eyes. The yolk, which many people discard, contains most of these beneficial nutrients. Don't fear the cholesterol in eggs. Modern research has largely cleared dietary cholesterol as a cause of heart disease for most people. The key is eating eggs with other high-protein foods. Scramble 3 eggs with cottage cheese mixed in. Add canned salmon on the side. Now you're easily hitting 30 grams of protein with 3 to 4 grams of leucine. Or make an omelet with Greek yogurt folded into the eggs before cooking. It creates an incredibly fluffy texture while boosting protein content dramatically. Number 6 is a seed that's gained popularity recently, and for good reason. Chia seeds. Just 2 tablespoons of chia seeds provide about 4 grams of protein and nearly 5 grams of fiber. They also deliver omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, and magnesium. But here's what makes chia seeds especially useful for seniors. They're incredibly easy to eat. No chewing required if you soak them first. When mixed with liquid, chia seeds form a gel-like consistency. This makes them perfect for people with dental issues or swallowing difficulties. You can stir them into Greek yogurt, blend them into smoothies, or make chia pudding by soaking them overnight in milk. They're virtually flavorless, so they won't change the taste of whatever you add them to. Chia seeds are also rich in antioxidants that help reduce inflammation throughout your body, including in muscle tissue. A bag costs about $5 to $8 and lasts a long time since you only need small amounts. They're shelf-stable, so no refrigeration required. Number 7 is one that many Americans have never tried, but it's time to change that. Tofu. Specifically, firm or extra-firm tofu. Half a cup of firm tofu provides about 10 grams of complete protein. It's made from soybeans, which are naturally high in all essential amino acids. Some people worry about soy and hormones, but research on older adults has consistently shown that moderate soy consumption is safe and may even have protective health benefits. Tofu is incredibly versatile. For breakfast, you can scramble it like eggs. Crumble firm tofu into a pan with olive oil, add turmeric for color, season with black pepper and garlic powder, and cook until heated through. It has a texture remarkably similar to scrambled eggs. You can also blend soak-in tofu into smoothies for a protein boost without changing the flavor. Or cube firm tofu and add it to vegetable stir-fries. Tofu is one of the most affordable protein sources available. A block costs about $2 and provides several servings. It's also very low in saturated fat, making it heart-healthy while still building muscle. Now let me pull all of this together into practical breakfast combinations you can start using tomorrow. This isn't about eating all 7 of these foods every morning. It's about strategic combinations that hit your protein and leucine targets. Breakfast option 1. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt topped with 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and a handful of berries. This gives you about 22 grams of protein with adequate leucine, plus fiber, omega-3s, and antioxidants. Preparation time? 2 minutes. Cost? About $2. Breakfast option 2. 1 cup of steel-cut oats topped with half a cup of cottage cheese and a sliced banana. You're looking at approximately 28 grams of protein, optimal leucine content, muscle-supporting beta-glucan, and sustained energy. Prep the oats ahead of time, and this takes 3 minutes in the morning. Cost? Around $2.50. Breakfast option 3. A 3-egg omelet with cottage cheese folded in, served with a side of canned salmon on whole grain toast. This powerhouse breakfast delivers about 40 grams of protein, well over your leucine threshold, plus omega-3 fatty acids. Takes about 10 minutes to prepare. Cost? Approximately $3. Breakfast option 4. A tofu scramble with vegetables, served alongside Greek yogurt with berries. About 30 grams of complete protein, high in fiber, loaded with vitamins. Takes about 15 minutes. Cost? Around $2.50. Breakfast option 5. A smoothie made with 1 cup of Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, half a banana, a handful of spinach, and a 1/4 cup of oats blended with milk. Quick, portable, easy to digest, delivers about 25 grams of protein. Takes 5 minutes. Cost? About $2.25. Notice a pattern? Each of these combinations provides 25 to 40 grams of protein, with at least 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine. That's the magic formula for triggering muscle protein synthesis in older adults. But here's something crucial that most people miss. Timing matters. Research has shown that distributing protein evenly across 3 meals throughout the day leads to better muscle maintenance than eating most of your protein at dinner. Many older adults eat very little protein at breakfast, a moderate amount at lunch, and then load up at dinner. That's backwards. Your muscles need protein consistently throughout the day. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This steady supply of amino acids keeps your muscles in building mode rather than breakdown mode. Now let me address some common concerns I hear from my patients. First, won't all this protein damage my kidneys? For healthy older adults with normal kidney function, higher protein intake is safe. Multiple studies have found no adverse effects on kidney function from protein intakes up to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. That's nearly double the current recommended daily allowance. However, if you have existing kidney disease, you should discuss protein intake with your doctor. Second concern, I can't eat that much food in the morning. I'm just not hungry. This is common. Appetite often decreases with age. But here's the thing. Your muscles don't care if you're hungry. They need protein regardless. Try starting with smaller portions and gradually increasing. Or choose more calorie-dense options like Greek yogurt and chia seeds that pack a lot of protein into a smaller volume. Smoothies are also excellent for people with low appetite because liquids feel less filling than solid food. Third concern, this seems expensive. Let's do the math. Greek yogurt costs about $1.50. Cottage cheese, around $2. Eggs, maybe 50 cents for 3. Canned salmon, $1 per serving. Chia seeds and oats, pennies per serving. Most of these breakfasts cost between $2 and $3. Compare that to a drive-through breakfast sandwich at $5 that gives you maybe 15 grams of protein, mostly from processed meat. Or expensive protein powders at $2 to $3 per scoop. These whole food options give you more protein, better nutrition, and actually cost less. Let me be clear about something. I'm not against protein powders. They can be convenient. But for most older adults, whole foods are a better choice. They provide not just protein, but vitamins, minerals, fiber, and beneficial compounds that powders lack. Plus, the act of chewing and digesting real food has its own benefits for overall health. Here's what I want you to do starting tomorrow morning. Pick one of the 5 breakfast combinations I described. Just one. Try it for a week. Pay attention to how you feel. Do you have more energy? Do you feel steadier on your feet? Are daily tasks a bit easier? Give it 7 days and then assess. I also want you to understand realistic expectations. You won't wake up with bulging muscles after 1 week of better breakfasts. Muscle building takes time, especially after 60. But research shows that even older adults can see measurable improvements in muscle strength within 8 to 12 weeks of consistent protein intake, combined with some form of resistance activity. Even light resistance. Even just using your own body weight. The beautiful thing about muscle is that it responds to use. Every time you stand up from a chair without using your hands, you're doing a squat. Every time you carry a bag of groceries, you're doing resistance training. Every time you climb stairs, you're building leg strength. When you feed your muscles properly with breakfast, you give them the building blocks they need to respond to these daily activities. Before we wrap up, let me address one more thing. Some of you are thinking, but what about all the other supplements I see advertised for muscle building? The amino acid powders? The creatine? The special blends? Here's my take. These can be helpful for some people. but they work best as additions to a solid nutritional foundation, not replacements for it. Master your breakfast first. Get your protein and leucine targets dialed in. Then, if you want to add supplements, discuss them with your doctor or a registered dietitian. Also, please don't fall for products that claim one pill or powder will solve everything. Muscle building requires 3 things: adequate protein intake, some form of muscle-challenging activity, and consistency over time. There are no shortcuts, but the good news is that the actual approach isn't complicated. It's just about making better choices every single morning. Let me share a quick story. Last year, I worked with a 73-year-old woman named Margaret. She came to me frustrated because she could barely get out of her recliner without help. Her daughter had to assist her with basic tasks. Margaret had been eating toast and coffee for breakfast her whole adult life. We changed nothing else about her routine except breakfast. We started with Greek yogurt and berries. After 2 weeks, she noticed slightly more energy. After 6 weeks, she could stand from her chair more easily. After 3 months, she was walking to her mailbox independently for the first time in 2 years. All from changing breakfast. That's the power of proper nutrition. Your body wants to be strong. Your muscles want to grow. You just have to give them what they need. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, make one of the breakfast combinations I described. Take a photo of it. Come back to this video and comment telling me which one you chose and how it tasted. I'll respond to every comment. And if you stick with it for a week, come back and let me know how you're feeling. I love hearing success stories. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post new videos every week, specifically for older adults who want to age strong and independent. Real science, practical advice, no gimmicks. And here's what I'm covering next week: the 5 worst breakfast mistakes that actually accelerate muscle loss after 60. Number 2 is something nearly everyone does without realizing the damage. You won't want to miss it. Remember, you're not too old to build muscle. You're not too old to get stronger. You're not too old to regain your independence. It starts with breakfast. It starts with giving your body the protein and amino acids it needs. And it starts tomorrow morning. Thank you for spending time with me today. I'm Dr. Patricia Henderson, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, eat well, stay strong, and believe in your body's ability to heal and grow.